I'm your host, Locum23. You're joining me for Desire Decorum, Book 2, Chapter 7, Moonlit Deception. A week after your dinner with the Duke, the night of your engagement ball. You are getting ready in your room with Briar and Miss Parsons. I can't believe this so-called engagement ball is already upon us. Your first official ball as the future mistress of Edgewater, and you have to contend with Duke Richards. Not to worry, I'll be there the whole night. If you need someone to escape to, you won't even see him if you don't want to. Edgewater is my estate, and I will not hide. I am determined to not become a captive in my own home. I will stand up to Duke Richards if he becomes a problem. You hear the scratching of nails against the hardwood floors, and turn to see Pugsley waddling into your room. Oh. He merely perks up when he sees you and runs as fast as his squat legs will allow him to jump into your lap. Pugsley, getting up into mischief, I suppose. No, you would never. You're too, good a boy, aren't you? Give him a good scratching behind his ears, and he headbutts you gently, his tongue lolling. You and Pugsley are like two peas in a pod. No matter what happens tonight, just know that I am here if you need me. We both are. You have more of a right to enjoy a party at your own estate than Duke Richards does. In fact, that has given me the most delightful idea. Out with it, then. What would enrage the Duke more than being overshadowed at his own ball? Let me guess, by an outfit. Considering his enormous vanity, I think I can think of nothing that would vex him more. Miss Parsons is right. Forget about the Duke and make sure everyone else does too. And how can I accomplish that? Well, you can start by looking fabulous. I have just the thing. Miss Parsons fetches her bag and produces a beautiful red gown. I instantly thought of you when I saw this. Would you care to try it on? Oh, it's very bold. You must. No one will give the Duke a second thought if you show up wearing that. Miss Parsons nudges you playfully. I can just imagine the look of Mr. Sinclair's face when he sees you. His jaw will be on the floor. Wear ravishing ruby to help you outshine the Duke and for a chance to improve your relationships. I had something else in my mind. That was ravishing red, but I digress. Also, Miss Parsons! You sly girl, thinking of me in this dress, or are you thinking of me out of it? I mean, what? Imper evening. Honestly, standing out is the last thing I want to do tonight. I'll stick with the old favorite and hope that Duke Richards finds some other flashy thing to obsess over for the evening. Now that I'm dressed, how else am I to edge out the Duke? There are many ways to steal Duke Richards' spotlight. Play the gracious host. Be kind to all of your guests. Soon, all the talk will be of how Lady Bella threw the best ball Edgewater has ever seen. I'll show Duke Richards what happens when you trifle with the Lady of Edgewater. Why don't you just cut his pee-pee off? I'm serious. Shortly thereafter, you, Briar, and Miss Parsons make your way to the ballroom. What, he's a piece of crap. He deserves it. Our guests mill about, sipping port and listening to the band play an elegant tune. You only recognize a few faces in the crowd. Duke Richard sees you and breaks into a wide smile. Oh, goddammit. You know, I wouldn't even feed the pee-pee to the dog. I love saying it. Goddammit, stop it. Ah, my beloved bride-to-be, you've arrived. Nothing escapes your notice, your grace. The Duke draws you to a private corner of the room, then looms over you, a smile, turning menacingly. I trust you will be on your best behavior tonight, my lady. I have important guests, and I will not have you embarrassing me. I was planning on stripping and running around the floor naked. I could do some twists and turns and rolls and let them see it all. How embarrassed would you be then? Actually, I have guests, as Edgewater is my estate. I don't intend to let you or anyone else forget that. Now, as host, I must fulfill my duty and greet everyone in attendance. You turn on your heel and march away from the Duke, surveying the ballroom as you go. Who shall I welcome first? To one side of the room, you see Miss Parsons and Mr. Harper speaking with Viscount Westonleigh, while Mr. Sinclair converses with your grandmother. On the other side, Countess Henrietta stands with a man you do not recognize, and Prince Hamid is making lively hand gestures at Mr. Chambers. Remember to delight your guests as you speak to them if you wish to upstage Duke Richards. Or I could just treat them delightfully like so. Mr. Harper stands dutifully behind Miss Parsons, who is locked in a conversation with Viscount Westonleigh in the far corner of the room. It's a lucky thing I passed you up, or else I would never have found my lovely new fiancée. Remarked Miss Parsons as you approach. She raises an eyebrow. I am so glad you found a more willing match, my lord. Why, yes, he certainly is a thrilling catch. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are enjoying Edgewater's hospitality. Ah, my lady. Ah, you look dashing, sir. Viscount Westonleigh. I can't wait to make the acquaintance of your new fiancé. What was that, my lady? I said I can't wait to meet your new fiancée. I'm sure she's quite beautiful. As a matter of fact, I am quite frugal. No one has ever complimented me on that before, my lady, and it is such a point of pride. You have made me feel most welcomed. Wonderful, my lord. What does frugal mean? Stop it. Just move on. You turn back to Mr. Harper and Miss Parsons. The Viscount continues to look on, though his eyes seem to have glazed over. I've dearly missed your presence at Edgewater, Mr. Harper. It's a bit unusual to be back here after... Indeed, I'm surprised the Duke is allowing it at all. I don't think he really has a choice. Duke Richards may be powerful, but even he cannot deny his guests the presence of their attendants. I imagine he incensed over it. No matter the case, I was just pleased to see the horses, and even more so to see you. I don't follow. Who is Luke Richards, and why is he amassing forces? Should I have brought my musket? Don't pay him any mind. I'll keep him busy while you show everyone how accomplished a host you are. You have my eternal thanks. With that, you turn back to the rest of the room. 1 down, 3 to go. Mr. Sinclair and Dowager Countess. Mr. Sinclair stands stiffly by the Dowager Countess, clutching a glass of brandy. I saw the most lovely bouquet of flowers in town the other day. Your grandmother would have loved them. She was quite fond of a well-arranged bouquet. Perhaps that's why she was so accomplished at the task. I miss her arrangements adorning my table. You interrupt their polite chatter, smiling at Mr. Sinclair. There you are, my dear. I will smack the ever-loving crap out of you. Grandma. Lady Grandmother, Mr. Sinclair, how are you two enjoying the ball? I admit I am enjoying the evening a great deal more now that you're present. Your assortment of guests is unusual. Indeed. Oh, we're trying to be nice. Isn't it lovely to meet new people? That is a very gracious response, quite a befitting a host. I'll smack the crap out of you, Grandma. I imagine you do not care for it, do you, Mr. Sinclair? I find it rather challenging. Me too, dude. You want to become friends? We're gonna be antisocial and socially awkward together. I dislike small talk, which is
Practically all that occurs at a ball full of new faces.
What of you, Lady Grandmother? Is the spectacle to your liking? I am less thrilled with the Duke for arranging it without my consulting. But I can find nothing wrong with his tastes. On that point, we have to disagree.
Dully.
Yes, save Duke Richard's own behavior. Perhaps there is an opportunity here. Show your guest that Edgewater is yours, and you deserve the acclaim for tonight's success. Miss Parsons had a similar suggestion. Great minds think alike, or so they say. Just make sure to be seen tonight, my dear.
Hey, Grandma. Hey, it'd be great if you had a heart attack and died. Bye! I can't see how anyone could prefer a man like the Duke over you, Lady Bella.
Your confidence in me means a great deal, sir. Now let us leave my granddaughter to hostly duties.
What did I just say about heart attack? You tip your head by way of farewell and turn to survey the ballroom once more. Countess Henrietta. You approach Countess Henrietta, who stands near the grand piano speaking to an unfamiliar man.
Countess, I wanted to personally thank each and every one of my guests for attending.
How lovely. Then you shall need an introduction to my companion here, Sir Gideon Payne.
Sir Gideon turns around, quirking an eyebrow as he surveys you.
Sir Gideon,
you look interesting. Are you Doctor Who? Who the hell designed your suit, good sir? What? No, stop. Just stop. We have to be kind.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Offer Sir Gideon your most winning smile.
Nay, the pleasure is all mine. I can see why my dear friend Duke Richards is so enamored of you. And may I say, fortune smiles on him to be betrothed to such a beauty.
Countess Henrietta shoots you an approving smirk.
Thank you kindly, sir.
Yes, Lady Bella is quite the favourite at Edgewater.
I admit I have been looking forward to introducing myself to Duke Richards's bride.
Good sir.
I know you and the Duke are up to something. I am far more than the Duke's bride.
I do hope you are finding my estate to your liking.
Ah, it is a breath of fresh air. I have been traveling the continent. It's lovely to return to English countryside.
I'm so pleased to hear it.
You feel a sharp jab in your side and turn to see Countess Henrietta giving you a meaningful look. She juts her chin towards Sir Gideon.
Sir Gideon, the Duke mentioned that you have been living in France as of late. I don't mean to pry, but is it true that you were exiled?
Oh, that was all a great misunderstanding. A small rumor that gained footing after I left.
He leans towards you conspiratorially.
I'm sure you're no stranger to how quickly off-base rumors can find an audience among the gentry.
I'm afraid none of us are.
Oh, I merely moved to France for a change of scenery.
So, Sir Gideon, I wonder whether...
What is this?
You're interrupted by the arrival of Duke Richards, who scowls at you as he steps in front of his friend.
Lady Bella, I insist you cease your interrogation of my guest.
Before you can respond, he turns to Sir Gideon.
I must apologize for my fiancé's manners, old chap. Allow me to make it up to you with a glass of port.
As he saunters away, Countess Henrietta leans towards you. She speaks in hushed tones.
Trust me, that exile was no misunderstanding. That man is hiding something, and I won't figure out what by talking to you.
Then I shall leave you to it. In any case, I have other guests to welcome.
The heads of Prince Hamid's conversation with Mr. Chambers drift over to you as you approach. I saw Mr. Knievi off at the docks. He asked me to relay a message to you.
What did he say?
He won't be able to ride while underway. He but he will send a letter as soon as he arrives. I will forward along a few diplomatic openings in the Ottoman Empire in case you ever want an excuse to travel abroad.
I am ever in your debt, Prince Amid. Good evening, Mr. Chambers, Your Highness.
Excellent evening, I would say, now that I'm basking in your presence.
Prince Amid, it has been entirely too long, and Mr. Chambers, hope Duke Richards isn't giving you too much trouble.
He seems to have more important guests to occupy his time, fortunately.
Why, Mr. Chambers, which guest could be more important than my fainting spell savior?
It was the least I could do, my lady.
Now, sir, it wouldn't be prudent to turn down the praise of such a lady.
No, I suppose it wouldn't.
I wish I could speak with you all further, but I must play the dutiful host and continue to greet my guests.
As you say, my lady.
Already greeted them all. Let's continue speaking with them. You turn away and survey the guest you haven't spoken to yet.
On to the next group.
Oh, there's another fucking group? Oh, God. You continue making the rounds. How many asses do I have to kiss? And finally pause at the edge of the room to catch your breath. Mr. Sinclair makes his way over to you and stands by your side. You have hardly had a moment's rest tonight, it seems.
I cannot deny it.
You can't be blamed, then, for not noticing. Follow Mr. Sinclair's gaze across the room, where you notice Briar hovering at the edge of the dance floor. Her gaze flits longingly between Mr. Marlcaster and Mr. Woods.
Briar, she looks so forlorn.
If I had to guess, I would say that she wishes to dance
with Mr. Marlcaster or Mr. Woods, no doubt.
Shift your eyes from Briar to Mr. Woods and then Mr. Marlcaster. You catch them both casting brooding glances in their direction. I don't believe Miss Dally would act on that wish without your encouragement.
I'm sure she would worry about propriety and Duke Richard's interference.
She may be more amenable if you were there beside her, or if we were. There would also be no question whose ball this is. Were a lady's maid allowed to dance along the gentry, the Duke would never allow it.
You have a point. It would make Briar happy and show Duke Richards who is really in charge.
I shall follow your lead, whatever you decide.
I at least ought to check on her.
Walk over to Briar, and Mr. Sinclair follows on your heels.
Briar, is everything all right? Yes, it's only... I wish I could dance at a grand ball like this, but instead, I'm stuck at the edge of the room pining over two different men. You can dance if you wish to. This is my ball, remember? I shall set the rules. But what if Duke Richard sees? It would throw a fit. Don't worry about the Duke.
Leave him to us.
As you say, but who would wish to dance with a poor lady's maid?
Urge Briar to dance with Mr. Marlcaster, Mr. Woods, or both to affect her relationship. And get some alone time with Mr. Sinclair, of course. I like Mr. Woods. May also be the fact he's all in black. Mr. Marlcaster is kind of a player, IMO. Leave Briar to gaze. Ha! I mean, it's a dick move, but seriously.
There are two I can think of, but I'm not sure whether any amount of dancing will solve your true problem, Briar. You don't know what you want.
Indeed, a simple dance can't make your heart's compass find its north.
I'm not sure whether such a public display would be of benefit until you've made up your mind. You're absolutely right, Bella. I can't stand to hurt either of them in such a fashion.
Suddenly, you hear the clink of silver on crystal.
My most honored guest, it is time for a toast from your incomparable host.
Yeah, you're hosting. Right.
I must be the one to make that toast and draw attention away from the Duke.
Rush from Mr. Sinclair's side to Duke Richards and plaster your most gracious smile on your face.
Thank you, Your Grace, for that most favorable introduction.
What? No,
It is my great honor to welcome you all to Edgewater for my first ball as the confirmed heiress of the estate.
My lady,
Now, if you would all join me in raising your glasses.
Edgewater made fully a flourish.
Here, here.
And to Lady Bella, who shall shepherd it into a bright future.
An elegant toast from an even more elegant orator.
You are all far too kind.
Duke Richards bears down on you, barely containing his fury.
How dare you undermine me?
You try, though you might. I will not allow you to ruin this evening for me.
You sweep away, weave through the crowd, eager to be out of the Duke's sights. It's in your face, boy. It's called killing your ass with kindness. Once you're safely on the far side of the room, you find yourself standing beside Mr. Chambers.
Lady Bella, you seem upset. It's nothing. Merely my dear fiancé doing what he does best. If it's any help, I find that dancing always lifts my spirits. And I can think of several guests of yours who would happily take a turn with you.
Your eyes scan the ballroom, alighting on Mr. Sinclair, Miss Parsons, Prince Hamid, and Mr. Harper in turn. I can pick one. Who to dance with, Mr. Sinclair? Mr. Harper, again, you're looking ravishing this evening, sir. Miss Parsons? Very pretty. Mr. Hamid. You, sir, have a dashing smile. But, Mr. Sinclair. You approach Mr. Sinclair, who stands at the edge of the ballroom, and offers your hand.
Might you join me for this dance?
I would be delighted, my lady. You both glide onto the dance floor. Mr. Sinclair guides you a few paces and spins you. You look in good spirits tonight, all things considered.
Yes.
I've grown quite skilled at hiding my true emotions. Well, I am with you, aren't I? You know what? Yes.
It's impossible to be in a foul mood when you are nearby.
That is lucky, because I feel just about the same about you. Continue to dance, allowing your mind to wander as your body does the work. You almost forget about the Duke entirely until...
Lady Bella, what are you doing?
It seems rather plain, doesn't it? I'm dancing.
You should be dancing with your fiancé, not some bitter widowers who's merely gentry, not even a noble.
He may not bear a title, but Mr. Sinclair is far more decent and honorable man than you.
Don't forget yourself, Lady Bella. You are mine to do with as I please. Now give me your hand.
I'm thinking. I'm gonna go the polite way. Kill with kindness, make yourself look good.
Thank you, Your Grace, but I must decline. Now, if you will excuse me.
The Duke reaches for you, but you slip out of his grasp and run towards the balcony doors. When you get to the balcony, you find Miss Parsons perched on a bench, gazing out over the Edgewater Gardens. You sit beside her.
Bella, you're right. Duke Richards just makes me so angry. I need a moment to calm down before I do something I regret.
Like cut his pee-pee off?
There. You take all the time you need.
Parsons tenderly rubs your back and places a soothing hand on your arm. He believes he owns me, Edgewater, and that he can take whatever he wants. He's wrong. Look at that. Points to the rolling hills, bathed in moonlight. This isn't his. It's yours. Being out here, looking over Edgewater, it's difficult to remain upset while taking it all in. That is precisely why I like to retire at her when the balls become a bit too much. There's something about the trees and open sky. I no longer feel as though I might strangle the next person I encounter. I suppose that means I should go back inside. You don't have to. You could stay out here with me and play a little people-watching game I like. People-watching game? Yes, like... She looks towards the windows into the ballroom, points to Mr. Sinclair, who stands alone near the grand piano. See Mr. Sinclair. I bet he's ruminating on the best retort for something the Duke said to him early. Parsons stiffens and puffs out her chest, adopting a baritone effect to her voice. I'm Mr. Sinclair, and I am a man of honor. You, Duke Richards, are a pig of great style. Yes, I'm quite certain Mr. Sinclair prefaces each of his insults with an introduction, though I admit I am intrigued by this game of yours. Harry and I used to sneak out and play it when we could stand no more small talk with neighboring barons. You and my brother used to sneak out of balls? Is it me, or when I just read that, my mind was like, what? Unbeknownst to the Countess, of course. I can tell you about it if you'd like. Parsons makes a show of glancing around and whispers in your ear. You and I might even find a poorly lit corner to sink into. Stay on the balcony with Miss Parsons, play her people-watching game, and chance to spend alone time with her. Go back inside. I had better not. I wouldn't want the Duke's entitlement to think I ran off again. Lord knows what kind of rage-fueled frenzy he would enter. Annabelle, thank you for this respite. Brief though it was. I feel a great deal calmer than when I stormed out here. You're welcome to use my little escape whenever you need it, Bella. You return to the ball, and you're immediately set upon by Duke Richards.
How dare you run off like that? You owe me a dance now!
The Duke takes your hands with an unnecessarily firm grip and leads you to the dance floor, where the band begins to play a waltz. You take up your stance and begin a lackluster dance.
Look around at all these people who can celebrate our engagement. This is only the beginning. Everyone will soon know that you and Edgewater are mine.
I don't believe our guests see it that way. You overshadow the Duke at your engagement ball. I have heard only how wonderful I look, and how gracious a host I've been. By all accounts, everyone agrees that I have put on quite a successful ball in my estate.
Even if they believe that now, they will soon know the truth.
As he speaks, Duke Richard's hand begins to drift from its proper place at the bottom of your shoulder blade, traveling down your back. Break away. Push the Duke away from you, drawing looks from some of the nearby dancers.
Do not make a scene.
You are the one who is acting improper.
I will...
He's interrupted by the arrival of your grandmother, who moves between you and Duke Richards. Your Grace, I am shocked by the behavior I just witnessed. You would act this way as a guest in my house?
My lady, this is a simple mistake. My hand merely slipped.
It did not. I know what I saw, Duke Richards. That you forced my granddaughter to dance, that the demon's grip on her hand, and the ravenous way you regarded her. And I admit I finally heard what Bella has been trying to tell me for some time. She would never forge such a horrific stories, especially when she stands to gain nothing from them.
My question is, will she actually stand up for you, or... I'm gonna go thank you. I guess we'll see.
Think nothing of it, my dear. I will not stand by and allow Duke Richards to treat my flesh and blood so poorly in my own estate.
Watch your mouth, my lady, or you will find yourself without a roof above your head soon enough.
You will not have Edgewater. No, the engagement is off, as it is entered into under false pretenses. Truly.
Your grandmother is finally on your side. Oh boy, joy.
Surely Bishop Monroe will understand if we explain the full extent of the situation.
Duke Richard smiles wickedly.
The bishop is the least of your concerns. Queen Charlotte has approved not just the union, but the wedding date. You wouldn't dare risk the damage to Edgewater's reputation, not with the monarchy at my back.
He trains his vile gaze on you.
You wouldn't want to offend the queen, would you?
Duke Richard spins, facing the guests milling about the ballroom.
Attention! Attention, everyone!
Grandmother steps towards you and whispers,
This changes neither my opinion nor my determination to help you.
Soon the din of the ballroom fades and all eyes are on the Duke.
It is my greatest pleasure to announce that Lady Bella and I shall be wed on 29th of July. To celebrate this announcement, we shall shoot goose in the morning, and everyone in attendance tonight is invited.
We can't do this. I'm afraid he just did, my dear.
No, what? No, you just literally... No, stop it. I'm gonna throw something at the goddamn screen. I'm so tired of this book. I really am. Oh. The Duke has arranged a wedding date and a hunting trip. With your grandmother on your side, can you come up with a plan to foil him for good? Sweet baby Jesus Christ.
I need a vacation.
So with that being said, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And down in the description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. Without further ado, thank you all for tuning in. I hope to see you all, hopefully, in stream tonight. Which tonight we'll be doing Kingdom Hearts. Wow. Harps. Yeah. Harping. Yeah. Hearts Dream Drop. It is the last installation of very lore-centric information, scenes, cinematics, etc. that is leads into Kingdom Hearts 3, which releases tomorrow. Which, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitch, please do, because I stream a lot of things, including choices, Kingdom Hearts, and a lot of other content. So, you should tune over there. We've got a lot of amazing shit. And yes, you will not regret it. Without further ado, thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.